Hydro Quebec employee charged with spying for China. This is the Great White North Report.
I'm in love with the system, never going home. I'm in love.
Alright, this does not surprise me at all. Utility in Quebec flagged a 35-year-old researcher to RCMP back in August, and he is now facing espionage charges. So he's accused of sending trade secrets to China, has been charged with espionage, right? The employee, Yi Sheng Wang, was arrested on Monday morning at his home in Candiac, Quebec, following an RCMP investigation. He appeared in court on Tuesday via video conference from the RCMP detention center in Montreal using a Mandarin interpreter. His next appearance is Friday. Wait a minute, he needs a Mandarin interpreter. He lives in Quebec. He doesn't speak any French. So he's accused of fraud for obtaining trade secrets, unauthorized use of a computer, breach of trust by the public officer, and obtaining trade secrets, a charge under the Security of Information Act. The crimes were allegedly committed between February 2018 and October 2022. That's a 4-year period. That's a long time. And not get caught? Investigation is very significant, sends a clear message, says Inspector David Baudouin, who leads the RCMP's Integrated National Security Enforcement Team, which conducted the investigation into Wang. I believe that the investigation shows that the actions undertaken by Mr. Wang are criminal in nature. This is nothing new to me. So according to the RCMP, Wang published academic papers and filed patents in connection with Chinese universities without permission of Hydro Quebec. And the charges carry a maximum of 10-year prison sentence. That's it, 10 years? I'd give him 20. Let him rot in a Canadian jail for a while, then kick him out of the country. And the investigation didn't begin until August 2022 after Hydro Quebec's corporate security branch filed a complaint about Wang. When the corporate security grew suspicious, Baudouin said they took preventive measures against Wang, and it has since been fired from his job as a researcher at Hydro Quebec's Center of Excellence in Transportation, Electrification, and Energy Storage. One of the areas that China is most interested in, electric cars. So this place develops technology for electric vehicles, energy storage systems, according to Hydro Quebec. So electric cars and batteries, things that China really wants to lead in. So according to Dominic Waugh, Senior Director responsible for corporate security at Hydro Quebec, said that their detection and intervention mechanisms allowed our investigators to bring this matter to the attention of the RCMP, right? No organization is safe from a situation like this, which is why we must always remain vigilant and transparent and not tolerate violations of a company's code of ethics. So Wang's research focused on batteries, and his byline appears on published academic papers as recently as April 2022, working with other Hydro Quebec researchers, but also for some papers alongside researchers affiliated with Chinese universities. He's probably one of those 1,000 talents that China was wooing to get a hold of their research. He's been with Hydro Quebec since 2016, postdoctoral researcher at the University of Arkansas, visiting researcher at Queen Mary University of London, and he has a master's degree in materials engineering from the Chinese Academy of Science Institute of Physics. Hydro Quebec is a Quebec's government-owned energy provider. So if he's got all these degrees, what the hell is he doing in Quebec? He obviously doesn't speak French. If he's got researcher degrees at University of Arkansas and Queen Mary University at London, England, why doesn't he speak English? Why would they need a Mandarin interpreter? But this is nothing. This is probably part of the 1,000 Talents Plan, which is part of China's long quest to become the global scientific leader. And it's been a government program to attract scientists and engineers from overseas since the plan began in 2008. It's recruited thousands of researchers from countries including the United States, United Kingdom, Germany, Singapore, Canada, other countries. But it does facilitate espionage, theft of intellectual property. And then the researchers don't even have to go to China to do this. What they do is just they do it all in the country they're in, and they send it back to China, to the CCP. And as far as Canada is concerned, this is definitely nothing new. Chinese hackers were involved in the downfall of Canadian Telecommunication Corporation, Nortel, which some have linked to the rise of Huawei, and that's exactly what could happen. Quebec Hydro is going to fall, like Nortel did, but any research, all their R&D research could be stolen. So they're throwing money around to get people to help them out in their own research. So it offers scientists funding and support to commercialize their research. In return, the Chinese government gains access to their technologies. And most of the people that do this don't declare their involvement. And China has established probably more than 600 recruitment stations globally. There's about 40 of them in Canada, and they're easy to hide. They're part of the consulates and the embassies and the Confucius Institutes and other Chinese cultural projects. It's not hard to hide them. These recruitment agencies are paid by the CCP, with incentives for each successful recruitment. And they deal with the individual researchers. So Wang, native-born Chinese, saw a way to make some extra cash. One way to stop it is to close all the Confucius Institutes and shut down all their consulates. The other would be to restrict Chinese students from studying in our universities. I know the universities are scared of that because it's a big money thing. But if we want to safeguard all of our intellectual property, that's the way to do it. Also, stop using computers that are hooked to the internet. You have a computer that's only hooked to a certain server that's within the country and doesn't have access globally, and it makes it a lot harder for hackers to get in. In worst case scenario, we could always shift our recognition to Taiwan and kick the CCP completely out of Canada and increase our prison fines for those who do work with them. But anyway, Canadians out there, let me know what you guys think of this story, and let me know what we should do, and leave comments in the comment section. Until next time, this has been the Great White North Report.
I'm in love with the system.